Hi, I'm Matt Bondurant. I'm a co-founder and senior VP of strategic services at ProCARE Portal. As we move to the year and the spirit of that, really wanted to look at 3 trends or old practices you should leave behind. So the first thing we want to do for next year is stop allowing different measured timings and payment frequencies and ancillary component logics for your plans. So we have found when we look at all these plans across the industry, the original designer of those plans rationally or irrationally dictated the timing of the measures: year to date, standalone quarter, contract year to date, rolling 12, dependency on prior periods, the true up frequencies, all the details in between. There are literally infinite ways you can design the mechanics of a model, and the odds are very high that you had multiple people designing your core plans just because the way that we've integrated over the last 10 years. So we've got different people that have all had different methodologies on timing, and that has made our core models apples and oranges. So even though there's components of each core model that are similar, they're managed differently. It takes very specialized skill set to be able to understand the mechanics of that and then manage the plan to that, which makes it more difficult to get in-game analytics and make any changes, because these things are very wired together and unique across those plans because of that difference in measure frequency and payment rules. What you should look to do is standardize those. You can spend the time to change those things and make considerable headway in the simplification of your model. Hi, I'm Matt Bondurant. I'm a co-founder and senior VP of strategic services at ProCARE Portal. As we move to the year and the spirit of that, really wanted to look at 3 trends or old practices you should leave behind. Trend number 2 to avoid is that doesn't mean that you should go and look to water down and move everybody to one plan. Oversimplified models are going to hurt your culture. Let's look back. In the old days, most of our physicians were in partnerships. They were in large medical groups that they owned, and they would still have disagreements about how to distribute the money. But by and large, they were in it together. There was a comp model or fundamental comp principle that if we do better as a whole, then more money will be distributed. And so they were doing things for each other. They would see each other's patients. They would do things for other service lines that were in their house to make it more efficient for them. They were in it together. And so if we can get rid of the complexities I spoke of in number 1, you can actually look to expand your models to try to bring some of those things back into your model. So you can have shared and individual components. So you still have individuals, but you have a shared component of your same measurements, but those are across your department, cost center, region, and even enterprise. So instead of your complexity, your models, the variedness of the way they're administered is the problem, not the fact that there's different ways to compensate providers. The different ways to compensate providers are actually speaking to those groups of providers and paying them for what they do and what they bring to the organization. Do more of that instead of less of that. So get rid of your administrative overhead in your models. I spoke of in number 1, but not the fundamental models that are really driving the culture of your. Hi, I'm Matt Bondurant. I'm a co-founder and senior VP of strategic services at ProCARE Portal. As we move to the year and the spirit of that, really wanted to look at 3 trends or old practices you should leave behind. 3, where it all comes together: quit making technology decisions that do not automate all your mechanics. We talk and see way too many people out there that have invested in technology, invested in infrastructure, and did not help their workflow, right? They're still doing manual work. Now, there's going to be data that sits outside of your comp system that has to be put in. So there will always be some manual work in your comp, at least in this day and age. But what shouldn't happen is it shouldn't be difficult then to administer your models as they're written. even as complex as we want to get, if we don't do step number one and we do step number two, we still have our varied measure plans, you should still be able to get full automation out of your technology vendor. And it should still allow you to be able to make your models appropriately more complex to improve your culture and make your bottom line better. More importantly, if you're watching this video, improve your day, because you probably deal with